They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but jeez. I'm Ashley with WatchMojo, and these are the top 10 grotesque anime monsters. For this list, we'll be looking at the creatures in anime that are downright horrifying to behold, that ooze hideousness from every pore, and will likely ruin your lunch. As always, I'm on Twitter at AshJBo, so go and follow me, and let me know what your favourite horror anime is or something. Number 10, Boar God, Princess Mononoke. As majestic and magical as Miyazaki's worlds tend to be, the OG certainly knows how to splash on the occasional piece of nightmare fuel. Case in point, when Ashitaka found himself defending his village from the wrath of a deity in the shape of a boar, who just happened to have fallen to the corruption of the forest. Portrayed through a miasma of dark wriggling parasites that coat the beast's body, it's a haunting sight to behold, made all the worse when you see just how fast it can run.
Please, leave our village alone! Stop, please!
Number 9, the demons, the Promised Neverland. Shying away from the fire and brimstone and amping up the disfigured flesh, this pack of pale, otherworldly beings are a million times worse than any monster that could be lurking under a child's bed. With their great intellect only matched by their insatiable appetite for human flesh, these crafty critters have managed to secure themselves a near endless supply of food by having their humanoid servants raise orphans until they're ripe and juicy. The only thing more unsettling than their conveyor belt of orphan corpses are those damn demon eyeballs of theirs. Number 8, Notorious B.I.G, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind. It's the stand that just keeps on giving. Even after its user ends up full of holes, this hungry flesh monster relentlessly pursues Giorno and the gang like a bat out of hell, instantly reacting to movement and expanding into a torrent of acidic mass that can melt a person into bloody chunks. In close proximity, this thing is your worst nightmare. If not for Trish's timely intervention, it would have chowed down on the whole lot of them. Scary to think it's still wandering out there somewhere in the ocean. Number 7, Maimaionba, Dororo. Do you hate moths? Well, prepare yourself, because they don't come much bigger or worse than this fluffy floozy. Yet another demon in dire need of being introduced to Hyakimaru's arm blades. What makes this devious hellspawn so much more repulsive than the rest is those damn little kitties she leaves behind. As the villagers lure outsiders to their death, Mama Moth lets her hatchlings run wild and feast on them. Considering they look like giant maggots and she lays a colossal batch at a time, yeah, no tears were shed when she got her wings torn. Number 6, Gauna, Knights of Sidonia. It takes something pretty tremendous in order to bust open a planet, but these terrors from the depths of space are big and ugly enough to make it happen, evident from when they forced all of humanity into the vacuum of space. Whether they're contending with mecha or possessing humans as hosts, these giant constructs of alien flesh are very hard to kill, unless of course you've practiced your harpooning skills and can spear them right through the placenta. Even in death, these things are just nasty to look at. Number 5, Tetsuo, Akira. Poor guy. Probably thought he was going to rule the world with his incredible telekinetic abilities and his bitchin' cape.
What's that? Your arm, look at it!
Well, it doesn't look like much, but it still works pretty good.
Alas, so much mental force turned out to be pretty bad for his body, as after exerting too much power, Tetsuo's body began to bloat until he was nothing more than a giant blob. All-consuming and uncontrollable, crushing everything that gets caught inside its hideous flesh flaps.
Run away!
That's the price you pay when you get your hands on absolute power, and you've got the mind of a vengeful adolescent.
Tetsuo!
Number 4, Goblins, Goblin Slayer. These green pests are no strangers to fantasy anime, but by far their most hideous incarnation came via this rather controversial outing. Not only are they ugly as sin, but they only live for 2 things: killing adventurers and defiling women. Considering we see the results of their appetites in explicit detail, it's all too easy to be sickened by these things, and then rejoice when Goblin Slayer brings a club down on their little heads. The little ones by themselves are bad enough, but just wait until you meet the Goblin Champion and Goblin King. Who knew that Repulsive had so many shades? Number 3, Pandemonium, Gintama. Turns out that not only can Gintoki and the gang pull off hard-hitting drama, outrageous comedy, and blistering action, but they're not bad at horror either. After all, only a sick mind could conjure up something as ungodly as the Pandemonium.
Pandemonium 食い競争です
These things aren't only horrendous to look at and act as food for demons, but can also change their face and gender as a defense mechanism.
別に気にしてないから。
なんで顔赤くなってんだ
Going from something that looks like it was squeezed out by Berserk to a beautiful blonde. Still not sure you should have kissed it though, Shinpachi. Number 2, Neuronist Painkill, Overlord. They were on screen for less than a minute, but holy crap, was it a memorable one. A loyal member of the Tomb of Nazarick, this nauseating creation loves nothing more than to dish out its special brand of torture, which just so happens to involve thrusting spiky instruments into places they aren't supposed to go in its victims, and likely several other equally inhuman tactics too violent to show on screen. You know you're in bad company when you'd rather deal with the giant cockroach and his army of carnivorous offspring than 1 second as Neuronist's plaything. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Morphed Demon, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Tanjiro has cleaved his way through quite a few demons in his time, but in terms of sheer vileness, nothing surpasses this amalgamation of arms. Large in size and sadistic in nature, the Morphed Demon lives to brutally rip apart the students of Urodaki out of vengeance, growing more powerful and more hideous with each carcass he devours. You're pretty much a goner if Mr. Grabby Hands gets a hold of you, unless of course you're adept at water breathing and can slash through that rotten coconut that he calls his head. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.